Hello everybody, this is my first Genshin Impact video, so I'd like to start off by apologizing if I get some information wrong or I just make one or multiple of the most shitty godforsaken takes one could have. I am still fairly new to the game, so I'm just going to ask for a little bit of your patience and forgiveness if I screw up. This video will be about re-rolling in Genshin Impact, how MiHoYo killed it in the 1.1 update, why they killed it in the 1.1 update, and whether or not re-rolling is still worth your time. So this is my main account. I'm AR 25 bordering on 26. I'm entirely free to play, never spent a penny on this game, and I never plan to. For my character roster, I've got the free characters you get for completing the tutorial part of the game. So that's Amber, Lisa, Kaya, your main character, etc. I've got the free characters that you get from handouts. At AR 18 you get Barbara for free. She's my main healer and support, because I don't have much better as far as I know. I've got Xiangling. You get her for free from doing some Spiral event stuff. I actually haven't done that. I pulled her from a gacha, but I will do the Spiral event later so I can get her Constellation 1. Then for gacha pulls, I've got Beidou, Sucrose, Chi-Chi. She's my only 5-star. I don't really use her because I'm not a huge fan, but it took me until AR 23 or 24 that I actually got this 5-star pull. As far as I know, it's not my pity roll. It could have been, because there's no way in the game currently to track where you are on your pity count as far as I know. But I've got Noelle. She's a guaranteed on the first 10 pull from the beginner summon as far as I know. I've got Ningguang. I've got Bennett. This is a brand new account I re-rolled for on stream the other day. I don't have an audience on Twitch, but I'll still link it in the description anyway. For the characters, I've got the free ones. I've got Noelle from the guaranteed beginner summons, and then from normal pulls, I've got Razor, and I also got Fischl. I pulled Fischl twice, so I have C1 Fischl. That's kind of neat, but I am very aware that with the new event that released in Genshin just the other day, a few days later from when this video will be posted, everybody Adventure Rank 20 and above will have Fischl, which will completely invalidate this account's existence, and it will no longer be worth anything, but I still think this is nice to have. So this is just a quick explanation of re-rolling for those who don't know what it is. Most, if not all, gacha games have a welfare portion of the game, that's what I call it, where after completing the tutorial of the game, or the opening segment, they'll give you a generous amount of the premium in-game currency for players to dip their toes into the gacha system of that game. Rerolling is the process of taking that free amount they give you and pooling to get the character you want, and when you don't get what you want, you'll delete the account or discard it, create a new one, start the game over, complete the tutorial over, and retake that amount of free currency and pool, and as long as you don't get what you want, you keep deleting and creating new accounts and pooling over and over until you do get what you want. I am not a mind reader. It'd be super creepy if I was, but you might be wondering or thinking, why reroll? If you start a game brand new and you use that initial free currency they give you to pull and you get absolute trash, if you were to stick with that account and that progress, you'd have to play through the game with absolute trash until you can earn enough premium currency to pull again and hopefully get not trash. That's sometimes some work in progress depending on the game you're playing. So what a lot of people like to do instead is, if they start the game with garbage, they'll just wipe their progress and create a new account and use those free beginning pulls to get good stuff, so then they can progress through the game with good stuff to hold them over until they can earn more premium currency to roll again to hopefully get more good stuff. So when rerolling was at its prime, just for hitting Adventure Rank 7, you'd get 1,600 Primo Gems, several hundred more Primo Gems on top of that, as well as several Fates. So that's around 45-50, if not more, free rolls for just completing the opening portion of the game that, if you were fast enough, took you maybe 25 minutes. That was extremely efficient and extremely worth your time, and so many people did it prior to the 1.1 update, especially for the Venti banner. People were re-rolling to get Venti. So many people were doing it. because it was worth the time and the effort that you spent into the game, because you were actually getting a worthwhile amount of free currency for the time you're investing in rerolling. But now, rerolling sucks in Genshin Impact. And I'll tell you why. So, with the 1.1 update that recently came out, there were some changes made to the rerolling. Or not exactly changes made to rerolling, but changes made to the amount of Primo Gems you get for free. So, for starters, you used to get 1600 Primo Gems for free, right? Now, you don't get that. So, rerolling is all about efficiency. And to measure efficiency, you'd measure it in the amount of time you spend rerolling a single account to the amount of Primo Gems you get for your time spent rerolling the account. I'm going to try to explain this as best as I can, so I apologize if I do a terrible job. So as an example, if I spend 25 minutes rerolling an account and I get 1600 Primo Gems for that 25 minutes, that is what it is. But say instead I can spend 15 minutes rerolling an account, and for those 15 minutes I get 1400 Primo Gems. So I'm losing 200 Primo Gems, which is about losing 1.5, 1 1/3 roll per account. But at the same time, I'm shaving off 10 minutes of time spent every time I reroll. Meaning, even though every time I reroll, I'd have 1 less roll. Overall, because I'm shaving 10 minutes off my time every time I reroll, it's more efficient because it's faster to reroll. Much faster, in fact. So instead of doing 10 rolls per 25 minutes, most people will choose 9 rolls per 15 minutes because it's just much faster and more efficient, and in the long run, you're not losing a whole lot. Prior to the 1.1 update in Genshin Impact, the way rerolling works is that you need to get to AR 7 before you reroll. And the way you do that is you get to the point in the story where you unlock wishing, and then you get to the point where you need to do the 3 domains or the 3 temples for the story. And to maximize your time and be the most efficient, you'd only do 2 of those temples, because doing those 2 temples were the most efficient way regarding time to get the required XP to AR 7, and on top of that you also got a few Primo Gems for the first time completion on those. But when the 1.1 update hit, rerolling was hit hard, and rerolling has become much worse in many ways. So around the time that the 1.1 update came out, or slightly before it, some changes were made to the account creation system on Genshin Impact. And the changes that were made is that prior to the 1.1 update, or around that time, you could just create an account with a username and a password, no email or anything like that required. You could just username, password, new account, boom, you can play. But now, to create an account, you need an email. And on top of that, you need to confirm the verification code that they send to your email. And because you now require an email to create an account, it's a lot slower process. Because 1, you have to create a whole new email account or use a temporary email service or something like that. And then you have to, confirm the verification code. And that puts a whole lot of time on the process, making it much less efficient. The second big change that was made to rerolling after the 1.1 update is that instead of requiring Adventure Rank 7 to collect your free beginner rewards, it's Adventure Rank 5 now. And you may be thinking, oh, that's good, they made it easier to collect the stuff. But this is actually horrible, and the reason that it's much easier to get your rewards for free now is because you get significantly less after the 1.1 update. So, as I mentioned before, the 1.1 update, you used to get several hundred Primo Gems, and then like 10 Acquaint Fates, and then 1600 Primo Gems on top of that. You don't get as much now. You get much less, and I'm about to go into that. This is a brand new account I made so I can do some reroll pools live. It took me about 25 minutes to get to this point in the game where I've unlocked wishes and I've gotten my adventure rank rewards, or they're ready to claim. So I'm going to be showing you how inefficient it is compared to how it used to be. So the Primo Gems I have now, I have not claimed anything at all. So I'll show you how many Primo Gems I have now. I have 1 Acquaint Feint and 73 Primo Gems just for doing the quests to get to the point where I unlock Wishing. Those are like the quests that you have to do through the tutorial of the game, and that's what you get. So now I'm going to claim my adventure rank rewards. So for 2, 3, you don't get anything. For 4, you get 50 Primo Gems, and for 5, you get 1 Acquaint Fate. So now what do we have? 123 Primo Gems and 2 Acquaint Feints. Now we're going to hit G, and these are like the tutorial prompt ones. You get a small amount of Primo Gems for capitalizing on those. So for looking at all those, I got 7 Primo Gems. And at this point, I'm going to check my mail. And this, when you create a new account and you get to AR5, instead of having all the things that you saw on my main account previously, this is what you get now. You get some Mora, you get more Mora, you get wings, and here's what you get. You get 10 Acquaint Fate. That's what you get. So I'm also going to claim my achievements right here. Okay, so basically what they've done after 1.1 is made it so that the free rewards you get cannot be used to wish on the limited character banner. So not only do you get none of the Primo Gems that you saw on my main account, the limited amount that you get are automatically given to you as Acquaint Fates, meaning you cannot use them on the limited character banner. The game makes you roll for the standard banner. So now I'm going to actually start the rerolling and show you how it would be done. So obviously you want to roll on the beginner's wish first with your Acquaint Fates. Here, I don't think I'm going to get anything good. I'll get Noelle, obviously, because like she's guaranteed. So I got Noelle, and I got garbage. So I did get some Masterless Stardust though, which is pretty nice. So now, since I used my 8 pool, I'm going to go to the Acquaint Feints, and I'm just going to do single pools here. Got Noelle again. That sucks very much. Let's see if I get anything good. Don't think I'm getting anything good. You're extremely unlikely to get anything good. Yeah, I just got utter garbage. So at this point, what I would do is go to the shop and go to the Stardust and exchange all of your Stardust for Intertwined Fates, so you can at least get some pulls on the banner. And the chances that you get anything good from this are extremely low. So as you can see, I got trash. So after the clip you just saw, I am left with 143 Primo Gems, which is not enough to do a single summon. But I did the test run for the limited type character, which is currently Tartaglia, so I can get those Primo Gems and do one more summon. Now if this is anything good, I'll be shocked. And it doesn't look like it is. But because of that, I now have 75 Stardust, which means I should be able to go back in here and buy one more Intertwined Fate, which will be the final pull. And as per usual, it's garbage. That's basically it for rerolling. So, hold on. Yeah, that's basically all there is to it for rerolling. That's all there is to rerolling after the 1.1 update. So why was rerolling killed in the 1.1 update? The simple and most straightforward answer is money. If you're a game developer, you want to make money. Whether you're developing a free-to-play game with a gacha system like Genshin, or you're a AAA game dev releasing a $60 game with only seasonal DLC here and there, you want to make money. And if you're a game like Genshin or a developer like miHoYo, your money comes from people spending to get the currency to roll for rare characters. And because the chances are so slim, people are going to whale on this game to get those characters. And whaling results in lots and lots of income for these games. So if your goal is to get people to spend a lot of money on your game to get these rare characters, you're not going to very much appreciate a concept of using the free beginner summons at the beginning of the game over and over again until you get the good characters from the jump, therefore circumventing their purchase system. They're not going to appreciate players circumventing spending hundreds of dollars on the game to get the rare characters. So now that the majority of the beginner primogems and the beginner wishes are gone, rerolling has become extremely inefficient, and the amount of wishes you get is no longer worth the amount of time you invest in rerolling an account, essentially killing rerolling. Now that this is done, the only way, realistically or efficiently, for people to get the good characters without spending money is to actually play the game and invest their time into one account, leveling it up, unlocking shrines of depths, etc., doing all the things that can get primogems and spinning for free that way. Otherwise, you spend money. miHoYo has killed rerolling, so people will spend money. I really think that's what it comes down to. As for what I personally think about this, I am upset that rerolling was killed, and I am upset that it is extremely inefficient, and I am upset it is worth practically nobody's time anymore, but I also understand why it was done. I think that if you look at it from the perspective of you're not cheating, you're not breaking terms of service, you're just using what was put in the game, from that perspective, people think it should be allowed because, again, you're not cheating or anything like that, you're just making use of what was put in the game. But if you also look at it from the perspective of, sure, it may be in the game, it may be there, and you're not cheating or breaking terms of service or modifying game files or anything like that, and you're not hacking. But if you also think that that beginning summon was intended for first-time players for the beginning, and it was not intended that people would just do that over and over, if you look at it from that way, you can kind of rule it as exploitation. And when you look at it that way, it's kind of iffy. But that's really, I'm not going to tell you what to think. I'm just trying to say what I think here. I'm pretty neutral about it, honestly. I don't think it's good or bad. Obviously, I kind of used it myself a little bit. And I do think it's bad for miHoYo and good for the people. But I understand why they did it. Rerolling is dead. It's extremely inefficient and no longer worth anyone's time, in my personal opinion. miHoYo has nearly killed it. The wishes you get at the beginning are now not enough to justify making a new account and playing through the first 25-minute portion of the game every single time you want to reroll. It is just not worth your time for the amount of primogems you get and the amount of rolls you can do. miHoYo did it because they want money, and that's just how it is. So, what now? Now you play the game. Rerolling may be dead, but Genshin Impact is still very much alive, and still very much popular, and very much a good game. If you play the game for the gacha system, you're going to get irritated and bored, and you'll find yourself wanting to play something else very, very quickly. However, if you play Genshin Impact for the game, you'll have tons of fun doing all the quests, finding everything, exploring the map, doing everything there is to do, world bosses, ley lines, domains. Everything in the game is, in my opinion, from what I've found, I've had tons of fun playing Genshin Impact, and I haven't put a single dollar into the game. Not a dollar. I'm still very new to the game, so I still have some things to do, but from what I've played, I've had tons of fun, and I think, with gacha aside, it is an amazing free-to-play game, and I really do respect and admire and appreciate miHoYo for putting out a product like Genshin Impact for people to play. To summarize, Genshin Impact in the 1.1 update has killed rerolling, or nearly killed rerolling. The amount of free wishes and free primo gems you get for completing the beginning portion of the game has dropped significantly to where you can no longer justify the amount of time it takes to reroll one account for the amount of wishes you can do. It is extremely inefficient and no longer worth anyone's time. However, rerolling may be dead, but the game is not. You can still have an amazing RPG experience for free with Genshin Impact. You don't need to spend a single dollar on the game, and the game is still an extremely fun game that I think lots of people have come to love. That's about all I've got to say on the recent changes to rerolling in the 1.1 update of Genshin Impact. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, like it. If you disliked it, dislike it. The comments are always open, so give me constructive criticism. Tell me what you liked. Tell me what you didn't like. Tell me what you think was good and what was bad. Tell me what I didn't do right that I could have. If you think I could do something better, tell me how. If you didn't like something I did, tell me what it was. All those kind of things. I want to hear that. I'm open to that. So feel free to talk about any of that. Feel free to start a discussion or join in on any discussions in the comments. Comments are always open for all those kinds of things. I hope the video was able to supply you with some useful information. I also apologize if the video quality is not good, because it's one of my first videos in general, not just for Genshin. So I appreciate you bearing with me here in this video. Again, thanks for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next video, if there is one, and see ya.